This is where it all ends. Rugby Championship 2021, a completely different campaign for the Springboks than it was 2 years ago when they were victorious. In this campaign, it's been a frustrating end to it as South Africa have struggled with their last couple of games. And so we're going to bring you this final game of Rugby Championship. The Wallabies beating the Los Pumas earlier today. And now, can South Africa overcome the men in all black? My name is Coach Dave. You're listening to One World Sports Radio. Alongside me is Otto Simon. Before I introduce Otto, don't forget to below, you'll see there's a little bit of a subscribe button. Click that subscribe button, ding the bell on YouTube so that you know exactly when we're going to be going live. We've got ICC World T20 coming up as well. And so we will bring you all of that with the Proteas and making sure you like and subscribe on Facebook as well. Otto, how are you, sir?
I am once again a little bit nervous, but otherwise I'm well. I hope that the Springboks make a little less tactical and handling errors and errors in judgment as they have been doing for the past 4 weeks and fix those mistakes, because every time we hear the team talking about those mistakes, we talk about all those mistakes, and they just keep on coming. So this is the final game. This counts as a Springbok home game. So let's hope they can put their minds onto Ellis Park or Loftus or the Bloemfontein Stadium or anywhere in the country, just to get them into that mindset of this is a must-win game for the Springboks before they head out onto their Northern Hemisphere tour, which we'll also cover as far as we possibly can, depending on availability and such. And also, please remember that you can advertise on this platform. Go to onewsr.com and get in touch with us there, or send us slide into our DMs there on Twitter. And we will read out some comments during the match if there's a break in play. Otherwise, we'll just run through them quickly at halftime. So please tell us what you think. Who do you think is going to win? What is the score going to be? Here on my side, we see the New Zealand national anthem being sung first. And after that, it will be the home team, South Africa. Of course, clearly Africa will be sung there in Queensland. Where are they playing today, Coach Dave?
The Cbus Super Stadium.
Oh, we're back at Cbus. Okay,
back at Cbus. So
let's it's not that open-ended one that we had last week. Yeah,
no, the Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Let's jump into the teams. I'm going to go through with the All Blacks since they are the away squad for today's game. Joe Moody, Cody Taylor, and Nepo Laulala are your front three for the All Blacks. Brody Retallick and Scott Barrett, wonderful lock pairing there for the men in black. Akira Ioane and Adi Sevilla are your lock pairings. Adi Sevilla is captaining once again for the men in black. Luke Jacobson is going to round out your loose trio. The pairing of Bowden Barrett and TJ Perenara, absolute world-class pairing from those two. And so we hope to see some more magic from them today. Your wings for today are George Bridge and Will Jordan. If you're an All Blacks fan, I'm sure you love to see it, but good rugby is good rugby. David Havili and Rico Ioane are your center pairing, and your fullback is Bowden Barrett's brother. It's Geordie Barrett. Otto for the Springboks.
We start up front with Trevor Nyakane moving over to the loosehead side. Frans Malherbe at tight head, Bongi and Bonambi at hooker. The locks, Eben Etzebeth, Loot de Jager, loose forward. Sia Kolisi, the captain. Kwagga Smith at 7 and Dwayne Vermeulen at number 8. Faf de Klerk and Andre Pollard start once again for the Springboks. Let's hope that Herschel Jantjies has a bit more of an impact today. He will get to the bench in a second. The wings, 11, Makazolo Mapimpi, and on the right-hand side, Boone Corsi. The centre pairing, Damien Dalende and Lucanio Am with Willie Leroux at full-back for the Springboks.
On the bench for the All Blacks, it's Samisoni Taukeo, his partner as well as in the front row replacements is Carl Tuui Kuafe and Ofa Tungafasi. Number 19 for today is Patrick Tui Pulotu. Ethan Blackadder is your number 20. And the final three on the bench are Brad Weber, Damien McKenzie, and Quinn Tupier. It's an interesting split there from the All Blacks. And Otto is going to bring you the Springbok bench. I think Otto might.
Yeah.
Go for it. So I think Otto might be frozen. Nevertheless, we'll bring you the Springbok bench. It's Malcolm Marx, Stephen Kitsoff, and Vincent Koch are your replacement front three. Franco Mostert and Marco van Staden are your replacements as well for the forwards. Herschel Yankees, Elton Yankees, and Frans Steyn going with a 5-3 on the bench there for the Springboks. So it's going to be interesting to see how much of an impact they can make in this break. Well, in this rather the last game of Rugby Championship 2021, and we'll wait with bated breath to see what the plan is for the Springboks. Can they come back from their horrid time at the moment since that first game in which the Australians absolutely picked at the seams rather of the Springbok plan. And so that's something that the Springboks have come under some criticism for in the last couple of weeks, that kicking from hand and whether or not it's the right plan for them. They definitely know that it's something that they want to work on, but has it seen success? I'm not so sure. South Africa will need to make sure that they come right in this final game ahead of their European tour, the autumn series, as it is affectionately known. All the Southern Hemisphere teams are going to say hi to their northern neighbors as we see the Haka and Otto's back.
Hi, sorry about that, Coach Dave. DJ Perenara leading the Haka once again, and the All Blacks are in that triangle formation, working themselves into a frenzy, as they usually do, as they always do, in fact, before a rugby match. And the Boks facing the Haka with their arms around each other's shoulders.
Absolutely. Tell me, Otto, what do you think South Africa need to improve ahead of this game? They've come, like I said, they've come under a lot of criticism, and so they need to answer some of those critics and come right there. So what do you think South Africa needs to do?
Well, first of all, don't kick turnover ball. Keep the ball in hand a little bit more. I'd like to see them do that. The All Blacks have a very dangerous back three. Geordie Barrett is extremely good under the high ball. Their wings might be a little bit shaky under those high kicks, but let's not make that the go-to tactic. If we get the opportunity, we should try and attack space instead of looking for contact. Just those tactical errors, and we'll see what the conditions are like today. It looks dry, but as we know, Queensland is quite humid. So it's that Durban kind of weather where the ball does get a little bit slippery. So I'd like to see them be a little bit more precise with their handling. And I'd like to see the referee just give us a little bit more in the scrums, because we've had some scrum dominance that wasn't rewarded in the past few weeks. But there's not much we can do about that. It's another Englishman today, if I'm not mistaken, that's refereeing the game.
Yep.
And then please, if you are inside the 10-meter line, you don't kick the ball if it's going to land inside the 22. That's just ridiculous. If you're that close to the goal line, attack the goal line. Okay, that's what I'd like to see from the Springboks today. And hopefully the All Blacks make the same amount of mistakes as they did last week, because if it weren't for that, it would have been a complete blowout against the Springboks. We were lucky to be playing against an All Black team that weren't at their best. So we'll see how they go today. But if they make mistakes, punish them and just keep the ball in hand a little bit more, I would say.
Okay, so Otto, with some sage advice there ahead of this game, I think South Africa need to make sure that that 9 and 10 pairing are well gelled, as well as the 12 and 13, the center pairing, need to be on point. Matthew Carley is your referee for today, the Englishman. But we are One World Sports Radio. We're on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all the things that you want to see from us. So make sure that you follow us. Let's get ourselves to 1,000 subscribers as we get this game underway. It's a high kick hanging there for the New Zealand winger George Bridge to catch, and he does. It's inside his own 22. Perenara throws it away, but he's got some forward support. They are inside their own 22. South Africa all on top of them. TJ Perenard looking like he's setting up for a box kick. He does. And that one goes hanging high in the air. It's going to be a simple catch for Dwayne Vermeulen. He's brought down just inside the All Black 10-meter line. Trevor Nyakane with the ball it's rather Bonge Manambi as he has Trevor Nyakane for support. This one goes into the pocket. Handré Pollard kicks this as a bit of a cross kick. It's high. It's hanging. He's just outside the 22. Barrett catches and he's immediately swamped by South African backs as the New Zealanders have to do some work to get things going. They're playing right to left are the New Zealanders, and South Africans obviously the left to right. So near side of the park of the 22, there's some good momentum here for the All Blacks. Held up there is the number 2, Cody Taylor by Dwayne Vermeulen. DJ Perenard looking for Barrett there to try and kick this ball away. It's kicked and collected on the bounce by Faf de Klerk. He crosses over halfway and kicks it into the 22, and it's called for mark by the number 10, Beauden Barrett. So early bit of frantic behavior there from the Springboks. It wasn't really set, and neither were the All Blacks.
Yeah, just trying to just find their feet, both teams there. The ball is on the near side of the field. Beauden Barrett there. Geordie Barrett took a nice kick on the nice catch on the far side of the field. And this time, Beauden Barrett sends the ball over the touchline on the near side of the field, and they will have a line out. As we see some attention there to Geordie Barrett, he came down quite hard. Line out right on the halfway line for South Africa. So Faf de Klerk with that last kick tried to go for the space, but there wasn't really that much space in the end. So another pointless kick there, but at least we have possession back as we see this line out is ready to go.
Absolutely. And Mbonambi to Etzebeth, he's contested nicely there by Scott Barrett, but South Africa maintained possession, and so they get them all going. Good bit of momentum. South Africa breaking through the All Blacks, and they're unattended here as they cross over the 10-meter line. Suddenly their things are brought to a halt as the South Africans are met by a recovering All Black group. So there's the call for use it once by Carly. And so Faf de Klerk's right at the back there. He sends it out to Damien Deland, who immediately gets rid of it onto Kwagga Smith. He's brought down. He's got support from Spoon Corsi and from Loot Dioche. Faf de Klerk to Handré Pollard. Pollard to Lucanio Arm. He pops it over the top to Spoon Corsi, Magazulu Mapimpi rather, who looks like he's been tackled there illegally. And so South Africa will have a penalty there. Otto, talk us through what happened there. There was a good bit of work from the Springboks, but didn't quite connect.
Yeah, Lucanio, I'm running a bit laterally there, trying to find Mapimpi on the outside, and he got high tackled there by his opposite number, I think, Will Jordan. But a good maul there by the South African forwards, and they managed to keep contact with at least one All Black player before the cavalry came for New Zealand and stopped that maul on the 10-meter line of New Zealand. And if it weren't for that high tackle, there was somebody coming around there to do support work for Makazole Mapimpi rather, but kicked the ball into the New Zealand defender's hand. So it's a penalty kick on the far side of the field on the 10-meter line, and it looks like Pollard is going to aim for the sticks. Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
Early opportunity. Yeah, South Africa have the early opportunity. Successful 199 attempts here for Handré Pollard, 74% in his career. So this could be number 200. It's on the far side of the park, just inside the 10-meter line. He smacks it, but it's going to go well wide of the right-hand upright. And so the All Blacks kick away and clear their line. So that'll go out where the assistant referees had to run from behind the poles to his near side. And so it's still inside the half where the All Black half where the South Africans will have the throw.
On the near side of the field, about 5 meters in from the 10-meter line of the All Blacks, and surprising to see them go for the touch there, because the South African line-out maul has been one of their strong points so far on this tour. Bongi Mbonambi is ready to throw.
Does now to Dwayne Vermeulen, is the recipient. Immediately onto Willie Leroux. It's rather Handré Pollard who gives it away to Makazole Mapimpi, or other Spoon Corsi, to try and keep things going. Siya Kolisi is absolutely having a crack of a start here. He's got some good momentum as South Africa are under pressure here from the counter ruck, and it's TJ Perenara who comes out with the ball at the other end, goes through the All Black hands, but there's a bit of a handling error, and Boden Barrett has to do a bit of cleanup with South Africa. Turn it over. Spoon Kosi, Damian Delende in the corner. And I think South Africa may have their first score. I think it's going to go upstairs because there was a lot of bumbling there. I don't know if it was as clean as they would have liked. If you try to follow that with us, South Africa had the ball, then they lost it, then they gained it back through a bit of handling error there from the All Blacks. But it all started, Otto, with that Siya Kolisi momentum.
Yeah, it was Ardie Savia, the New Zealand captain, who got hold of the ball in that maul, but then the All Blacks trying to tap the ball on in the back line, losing the ball in that play there, and the South African backs did a great job of coming up onto their defensive lines. I don't see anything wrong there. The ball was fumbled by New Zealand and picked up by Lukhanyo Am, who flicked it around his back to Damian Delende on the near side, to Spoon Kosi rather. And that final pass to Damian Delende on the near side of the field, he goes over the line.
Can we talk about Lukhanyo Am behind the back?
Yeah, just like
what?
Ridiculous. Around his hips, and this time Pollard gets it.
Hit the left hand upright. So 0 for 2 here.
Again.
Yeah, absolutely. Andre Pollard. 5-0 to the South Africans at 6 minutes and 32 seconds gone in this game. It's the second encounter between these two teams in Rugby Championship. It is the final game. It was Cody Taylor who was the error, who was guilty of that error that allowed South Africa back in, and then Lukhanyo Am with just some rudeness, really, as we see Boden Barrett kick this one not very far, but South Africa have lost it off their own start, and so the not Wallabies, the All Blacks have the ball now in the South African half with the front foot momentum. Perenara looks for Barrett, and there's a lot of handling errors here from the All Blacks as we see Jordie Barrett brought down by Spoon Kosi in the middle of the park, but referee's going to blow his whistle as Damian Delende remonstrates with him to say, surely there's no need for that.
And they lose 10 meters as there was some back chat there from Damian Delende, so he owes all his teammates a beer, no doubt. Yeah, so the referee judging there in that breakdown when Jordie Barrett got tackled that the ball wasn't out, it looked just a 50-50 call to me. Spoon Kosi holding on to Jordie Barrett, he goes to ground. The Springboks cleared off the ball, and Lukhanyo Am came around the ruck to pick the ball up, and the referee saying that he's in from the side, as that ball was still in the ruck according to the referee, but I'm not so sure about that. So Jordie Barrett, it looks like, will be lining up for this kick. We've seen him taking over the kicking duties from his brother, his older brother, I think, right? Boden is the older one, or he certainly made it into the All Blacks team first. So let's see if Jordie Barrett can get 3 points here for New Zealand. It's an easy kick in the middle of the field, just outside the 22, thanks to Damian Delende's remonstrating with the referee. Let's see here.
Yeah, he looks like he slotted that quite comfortably. The assistant referees have raised their flag, and so it's a penalty goal to the men in black. It's 5-3 as we head towards the conclusion of the first 10 minutes of this game. This is from Siba Stadium in the Gold Coast. And so South Africa will kick off once again with Andre Pollard. It was the All Blacks who benefited the last time from a South African error at the kickoff, and that's where they got those 3 points from. But now South Africa having to do a bit of work as TJ Perenara is trying to dig it out of a pile of bodies there in his own 22. He does so now and throws it out to Nepo Laulala, who's brought down just shy of his own 22. There's some discussion between the referee and Trevor Nyakane, who's saying, can I get in there because I'm trying to clear it away. TJ Perenara with a high hanging box kick. It's going to come down for Dwayne Vermeulen, who's immediately hammered by the number 11, George Bridge, but South Africa still have the ball. Nyakane crossing over the 10-meter line of the All Blacks, and he's got support from Eben Etzebeth and Bonge Monambi. Other side does Faf de Klerk go. This one's to Spoon Kosi on the near side. He's got Kwagga Smith in support. He slips and falls and is hammered by 3 All Black jerseys as South Africa have to try and make sure that they secure the ball. Lotiaga in possession now from the back of the ruck as once again Pollard and finding Willie Leroux, who snipes away, but he's brought down just in on the far side of the park. Damien de Allende is immediately picked up and tried to get some forward momentum, but is held up short there. Faf de Klerk setting up for what looks like a box kick as he tries to shovel it away from the depths there. He does so now. It's a kick to the blind side. It's in the 22. South Africa hoping they can catch it. There's not a clean catch from Geordie Barrett, and that means South Africa will have a scrum from the knock-on there. Sio Kolisi was immediately onto the referee to say, hold on, let's get a scrum there. That was knocked on.
Yeah, I think that they've conceded a penalty there. I think that must have been for accidental offside.
Obstruction.
Obstruction.
It was obstruction.
Okay.
I thought it was the knock-on.
Yeah, so did I. But the referee saying that the New Zealanders were obstructing the kick chasers there. Let's see a replay now. It's on the far side.
Yeah, you can clearly see Sio Kolisi was blocked, as well as Makazola Mapimpi.
Makazola Mapimpi, yeah. So, it's Scott Barrett, the third Barrett brother, and Faf de Klerk saying small margins there. So close, but I don't like the ball coming down in the 22, even though that was a good outcome for the Bokke. I don't like it. I'll say it, keep saying it. That was a kick from the All Blacks 10-meter line, and the ball landed well inside the 22.
And hooray, he slotted it.
Yay. We've got
South Africa, after 11 minutes, lead the All Blacks 8 points to 3. Otto, you'll take us through the next 10.
Yes, indeed. So it will be All Black kickoff. Let's see if they go flat again to the far side, inside the close to the 10-meter line of the Springboks. They're ready now, and we'll see when they take the kickoff. Goes up into the air. This time it is a bit deeper. It's inside the 22 where it's collected and dropped by Willie Leroux. Knock-on advantage to the All Blacks. They come to the near side of the field in the form of the captain, and Perenara sends it out to Beauden Barrett, and there's a kick to the far side where it is a try for the number 14. That has to be a mistake here on our team sheet.
Because that's definitely not Will Jordan.
Will Jordan to me. So that is
David Havili, maybe? Or Rico Ioane. We're going to have to see here in the replay. But it absolutely, we'll there's going to be a TMO decision here as well. I think that's the challenge, is that the South Africans are, they've fluffed it twice now from a New Zealand kickoff. And so it's cost them each time. Whether or not this comes right for the All Blacks is irrelevant. I think South Africa need to be mindful of the fact that they have
they're checking
twice now from
the right wing for New Zealand was in front of the
offside.
Kicker. But it looks good to me there. And let's see, the far side touchline came into play. No. There's
not really a concern there.
The defender there for the Springboks, Dwayne Vermeulen, trying to get the feet of the number 14, who is yet to be identified by this commentary team, over the touchline, but I think he actually held the man's feet in the air and didn't bring him into contact with the ground beyond the touchline before the goal, the try was scored. So our
producers told us that it's Sevu Reece is the man in the number 14 jersey. So Will Jordan is not the man in the number 14 today. Obviously, there's been a late change there. So try for the All Blacks again.
Yeah,
jumping on a South African error after the kickoff.
No, you make one mistake against the All Blacks and you concede 3 tries. So that was a dropped catch from the kickoff by Willie Leroux, and immediately Sevu Reece there getting the 5 points for the All Blacks. It's on the far side of the field, right up against the touchline. So it's not the easiest of kicks, but Geordie Barrett has had one easy one to start off with. So let's see if he can get the extra 2. Scores are level, 8 points each, with 13 minutes, just about 13 minutes gone in the first half of this final test match between South Africa and New Zealand in the 2021 Rugby Championship. Geordie Barrett comes forward, strikes the ball now, but he's pulled it left.
Shanked it.
And shanked it badly. He's shaking his head. That wasn't the greatest kick I've ever seen him execute. Looks up to the sky, and he's not feeling very confident at the moment, but the scores are level. And it's another thing that we've seen from the Springboks as the kickoff comes now to the near side of the field inside the 22, where it is caught by the number 11, who also cannot possibly be George Bridge. And the All Blacks set up the ruck about 20 meters from the near side touchline. It goes out to Beauden Barrett, who kicks downfield just outside the 10-meter line, collected there by Dwayne Vermeulen, and the ball pops out in contact. And once again, that looks like Rico Ioane is coming over the 22 for the All Blacks in the middle of the field. TJ Perenara goes to the far side. Beauden Barrett with a kick pass to the far side touchline. And it is collected by Sivu Rees, infield pass immediately to Rico Ioane, I think is number 13. We'll have to identify the number 11 as well. And there's a knock-on advantage or a penalty advantage to the New Zealanders. They come to the near side of the field on their own 22. A ruck is set up there, and I think the referee will call them back as there wasn't a clear advantage, and he's giving them an option of a offside penalty.
Number 2, Bongi Mbonambi is offside. Guilty pass.
So that was just about in the middle of the 10-meter and the 22 of the All Blacks, where Bongi Mbonambi stepped over the offside line and effected play. So it's a penalty to the All Blacks about 20 meters in from the far side touchline. Scott Barrett getting some attention now from the medical staff. Says there's a bit of a break in play. Do we have any comments? Can you see there, Dave? I'm too scared to open any other windows here for fear of losing my connection again. So.
Sure. John Wright is saying from YouTube, go Bokke, and go Bokke indeed. This game is evenly poised. There's 15 minutes gone in this first half. Don't forget, if you want to follow us beyond just this game, you can go to YouTube and find One World Sports Radio. Subscribe, like this video, ding the bell so that you know exactly when we are going live. We bring you all the national teams for South Africa, both in the cricket, rugby, and when we can, the football side of things. So we will be your partner for everything South Africa. Green and gold is our favorite. Also, you can find us on Facebook, like that page as well. And don't forget to follow us there as well. And tweet us at OneWorldSR. If you want to find out our cricket team, go to our Twitter and tweet at GuerrillaSA, at GUERILLASA. We'll be bringing you all the Protea action ahead of the World T20 that takes place very, very soon. And so we will be for that. Otto and myself and the whole shebang of the Guerrilla Cricket South Africa commentators. And Otto, do you want to tell us who the back line?
So the man who was carrying the ball there, the number 13, was Anton Leonard-Brown. David Havili is at 12. So we got that right on our team sheet. And Rico Ioane is at number 11, along with Sivu Rees at 14. So thank you to Mpo for that correction. The players moved on to a New Zealand throw-in on the far side on the Springboks 10-meter line. The ball is secured. TJ Perenara goes to Beauden Barrett, who finds a help there in the form of the forwards, and they over the 10-meter line of the Springboks in the middle of the field. They come to the near side. Another ruck is now set up just inside the 10-meter line. Perenara goes and finds, looks like Retallick there. He's got support, and he goes over into the 10-meter line of the Springboks, and it's a penalty to the Springboks. Great work there over the ball by Siya Kolisi. And getting some congratulations there from his teammates for a good turnover in the middle of the field, just inside the Springbok 10-meter line. Andre Pollard has the ball in hand, the South African ball. I didn't realize that there was a major difference in the rugby balls in international rugby, but apparently that's also a thing. And the line out is set now about 10 meters outside the 22 of New Zealand. So Retallick was a bit isolated there, and Siya Kolisi straight in over the ball. He was facing the wrong way, was Retallick, so he had to turn his body back towards his own try line, but couldn't manage to do that with Siya Kolisi all over him. And a good penalty there. Bongi Mbonambi, 4-man line out now for the Springboks. Faf de Klerk is there, gets the ball off the top now, gets connection there from, it looks like Willie Leroux. No, that was Pollard with the right foot. Tried to do an up and under, but the ball was intercepted or just got knocked down there. The kick was charged down. Perenara now on the far side of the field to Beauden Barrett, who sends this kick high up into the air. It's going to come down just inside the 10-meter line for Willie Leroux. who's immediately under pressure, gets it out to Andre Pollard, who goes into contact just over the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Faf de Klerk is there, gets the ball to the near side into the middle of the field. The Springboks go over their own 10-meter line. Faf de Klerk has the ball now back to Andre Pollard, who sends a cross kick to the near side of the field, high up into the air. And it is into the hands of Kwagga Smith, who goes over the halfway line. Faf de Klerk is there. Good collection there, good retention of the ball. Their ball goes out the back of the pot of forwards to Andre Pollard, who gets it now to Eben Etzebeth, who makes it up to the 10-meter line of New Zealand. They go to the far side. Willie Leroux into the line. And that is Springbok tackled just outside the 22 of New Zealand. Loot de Jager now into the 22 of New Zealand. Faf de Klerk to the near side in the middle of the park goes Trevor Nyakane and Bongi Mbonambi once again pairing up. Faf de Klerk goes to the far side. Andre Pollard with a cross kick into space there. It bounces once inside the field of play, and it will be a New Zealand line out about 10 meters out from their own try line. That was a much better kick from Andre Pollard because he saw that there was space there. No, sorry, that was Willie Leroux with a clever little cross kick there with Sivu Rees not being in position there for the All Blacks, being up into the defensive line and leaving space there at the back. Jordie Barrett also not covering the far side touchline there for New Zealand. So, I mean, the New Zealanders actually say this: kick to land, not to hand. If you are going to kick the ball and it is going to bounce in the opposition 22, make sure there's nobody near it to catch it. That's easier said than done, of course, but that's what we expect from our Springbok side, is to have that kind of thing in mind. So there's another break in play now as Eben Etzebeth is getting some attention. Some good ball carries there by the Springboks, making meters at will, it seemed, crashing through the defensive lines of New Zealand. So that's also a good sign.
Absolutely. And there's been a lot of discussion around the teams, both of them, and their use of forwards. And so South Africa making sure they're getting their ball carriers to crash through the advantage line as we see them set up for the line out.
Yeah, the ref not happy with the line out there. Sorry, I thought I had to break in there to get the commentary going. Cody Taylor, 10 meters out from his own line, and it's stolen by the Springboks. Dane Vermeulen has the ball out to Bongi Mbonambi, who comes crashing now through the first tackle, the second tackle. Yes, he's up to the try line and he's placed the ball
has he knocked it on? Oh, has he knocked it on?
Well, I think they're going to have a look. The ball squirted out of his hands and over the try line, but I think he got it down before it left his fingers. So they're going to have a look upstairs, and he dotted that down right in front of the poles there, just to the right of the left-hand upright. What a run by Bongi Mbonambi, breaking 3-4 tackles there with two New Zealanders hanging on to him. He places the ball. Oh, he places it short. The sponge that covers the pole is no longer part of the try line, with Jordie Barrett and Bowden Barrett in attendance. He tries to get it over the line, onto the line, short. But it was just down short and then went forward. So I guess that will be a All Black scrum right up against their own goalposts. So let's see if the Springboks can shove the eighth man, Luke Jacobson, into that upright. That'll be nice if we can see that. And that'll be the first scrum of the match as well. In the, what is it now? Almost 20 minutes gone, I think.
That is correct. 18 minutes and 49 seconds. No try given there from the English referee. Bongi Mbonambi saying, so close, so close, so close. It could have been for the South African hooker. But what a run.
Akira Ioane, and then meets Bowden Barrett and just shoves him back, loses his footing, falls to his right, and almost gets the ball over the try line there, shaking his head. Don't worry, man. Do it again. I mean, that's beautiful by Bongi Mbonambi. So nice to see a South African breaking a tackle, and he had support players with him, because that's another thing that we've seen from the Springboks. Okay, no, they're going to have the scrum just to the right of the uprights there. First scrum of the match is that we've seen the Springboks just not taking advantage of those type of situations. But let's see this first scrum now as they're ready to set, and it's engaged now. TJ Perenara on the near side of the scrum. The scrum is steady for the All Blacks. TJ Perenara back to Bowden Barrett with the right foot goes to the far side touchline, and the line out will be just inside the 10-meter line. Makazole Mapimpi thinking about a quick throw in, but Sivu Rees and Leonard Brown there in attendance for the All Blacks, so he thinks better of it. And it'll be a line out to the Springboks on the New Zealand 10-meter line. Thing. This is also quite cool to see. But a good scrum by the All Blacks. We'll see if the Springboks can get some ascendancy there as they had last week. As Bongi Mbonambi is ready with the ball now to throw into a full line out. Siakolisi is the receiver there for South Africa. Ball goes up to Eben Etzebeth, to Dwayne Vermeulen, and Maul is set by the Springboks. And they're trying to move it forward once again, which they do now. And it's 5-6 meters inside the 10-meter line. The Maul is on the far side of the field, moving sideways a little bit, and New Zealand managing to screw it around. But Kwagga Smith has the ball, and he breaks away from the Maul, gets tackled immediately. Faf de Klerk is there with possession, goes to the near side to Trevor Nyakane, who gets brought down almost in the middle of the field, just about 10 meters out of from the New Zealand touchline. Now look here, this is now ridiculous. Faf de Klerk is sending the box kick up high into the air to the far side of the field, and it's easily taken by Sivu Rees, who's then immediately viciously tackled by Siakolisi right in the kidneys there as he turned his back. A good technique there by Sivu Rees, but now the All Blacks have possession inside their own 22, and Sivu Rees will have a chance to clear the lines for the All Blacks. I mean, that's just, geez, I don't know, man. I saw the Irish teams do this as well against, I think, doing this against the Bulls last night, and Leinster did it against us last week as well, where they do actually use that as a tactic, but I don't like it at all, Coach Dave. As we see, Sivu Rees coming forward with the free kick, goes high into the air, and the ball will come down inside the Springbok half. But let's see where they set the line out here for the Springboks, as the next 10 minutes will be Coach Dave.
Absolutely no score change since I handed it over to you, Otto. That's good and bad in equal measure. And so South Africa will want to make sure that the next 10 minutes as they head towards halftime are a productive one for their men in the line-out. There's a bit of direction there from Bongi Mbonambi. He's throwing it now. It's a dummy jump from Etzebeth, but it's Diago who cleans it up, and South Africa go through the hands as Lucanio Am is brought down in the middle of the park. Faf de Klerk looking for some support. He finds Siakolisi with a penalty advantage.
Yeah.
And South Africa will now look to get some front foot stuff here. Good work by Faf de Klerk, who was a grubby kick from Damien Delende. There's a bit of a knock on and the ball's gone out. So I think South Africa will come back for the penalty advantage. The referee saying somebody's offside there. Guilty. And so South Africa will have the opportunity to make some inroads into that All Black half. Whether or not they go for another kick, it's 10 kilometers an hour when they're in Robina the Siba Stadium is in Robina in Queensland, and so South Africa will have to make sure that if they go for the poles once again, they will need to be accurate. They haven't been in this game so far, and so if the decision is to go for poles, they've got to make the most of it.
And it's actually Brad Weber. I can't believe I didn't spot that. Thank you very much, Mpo. I don't know how I got that so wrong. I do apologize. So the bench for the All Blacks are Safu Aumua, George Bauer are the hooker and prop. Ofa Tuangafasi is the other prop replacement. Patrick Tuipulotu is the lock replacement. Ethan Blackadder is the other loose forward, or the loose forward replacement. TJ Perenara, Richie Moanga, and Damien McKenzie are also on the bench for the All Blacks. And meanwhile,
that penalty has been slotted through the goal. South Africa lead 11 points to 8. And this is good momentum for the men in green and gold as they hopefully want to make sure that they secure this kickoff as a wonderful contesting there from the All Blacks. But Handré Pollard in his own 22, there's a penalty advantage from that. And so South Africa will kick this one away. Sivu Rees with the throw now to Bowden Barrett, who looks to kick a bit of an up and under for Rees to chase. He's had to make his way through a couple of people. Willie Leroux's having a howler of a day at the back. He's headed that, and so Brad Weber's able to collect that at the back. A little bit of a dummy run there. Great bit of work from the All Blacks. A handoff there and a handoff offload there. Anton Leonard-Brown brought down inside the South African 22. Then there's a knock-on as a result from that throw from the back of the ruck. South Africa were at risk there of conceding, and it was a small error there from Scott Barrett that led to that turnover. But South Africa nearly, Otto, caught napping. And again, Willie Leroux is the culprit. He's catching like a small child trying to catch a cricket ball.
No, he's having a horrible game so far. So we see there was that Leonard Brown, yes, on the near side of the field, almost with the overlap there, as the All Blacks once again tried to outflank the Springboks, as they managed to do quite easily to Australia, but the Springboks cover defence taking care of business there. And the second scrum of the match, yes, Faf de Klerk has the ball, a mistake by New Zealand, and relief for the Springboks inside their own 22.
So South Africa in this rugby championship, South Africa in this rugby championship, winning 96% of their own scrum, and 22% of the scrums that they've had result in penalties for the men in green and gold. So they've absolutely had a smashing time, for lack of a better word, in rugby championship so far. The scrum is set now and the ball is fed. South Africa shoving hard there, but the ball goes to Damien Delende off Faf de Klerk at the back of the scrum. South Africa now looking to set up something there. Faf de Klerk with a run, and he sends it out wide to Spoon Corsi on the bounce. What a fantastic pass. He finds Kwagga Smith on his left-hand shoulder to support him, but now the ball goes to Oxenchair, who smashes into number 7, Ardie Sevilla, the All Black captain, as South Africa look to try and get out their own half. There's a box kick coming here. I could put my house on it as Faf de Klerk sets up. And don't worry, I've still got my house, as he box kicks that into the All Black half. Spoon Corsi tries to make sure that he collects that. As a knock on there from the All Blacks. Kwagga Smith collects it, and South Africa on the front foot now. Pollard to Willie Leroux, who kicks a cross kick into land inside the All Black 22. And South Africa will now have a throw to contest inside the 22. Willie Leroux saying, but it was in our own half. Not quite. So the All Blacks taking a quick throw, throwing it in their own 22. Barrett with a thump downfield to seemingly a vacant land, as now South Africa have to come and turn and run back into their own 22. Willie Leroux now with a flat kick, and he's scooped it straight out just between 10 and halfway. And he seems flustered, does Willie Leroux today. He doesn't seem his calm, collected self, as there's a discussion going on between the referee and one of the Springbok water boys. I think it's a Springbok water boy, and he's clearly not happy with the fact that they're on the park when they're not supposed to be. And it is a Springbok water boy. I'm not too sure who that is, and he's being told now by the reserve official that he's got to behave, otherwise he's going to find himself in trouble there. Short throw, and the referee saying, "Well, hold on, lads, I wasn't ready yet." Which is a good idea. It was a long lineup, and we're just having a look here at the fact that the water boy is remonstrating with the referee on the near side, the assistant referee on the near side, and then has a go at the referee himself. And the fourth official is saying, "Well, calm down, mate. There's no need for that." So throw now. It's deep into the All Black opportunities, and wow, Weber was smashed there by Trevor Abonge Monambi. But in the meantime, the All Blacks have broken 1, 2, 3 tackles. Rico Ioane finds some space, and he gives the ball to Ardie Sevilla, and the All Black captain has crossed the whitewash near the poles. South Africa sleeping from that line out, and the All Blacks bringing a move from the training ground. And it was simply textbook, Otto.
Yeah, it was Beauden Barrett breaking the line there with some help there. So it went off the back of the line out. It seemed like there was going to be a maul set up, but Beauden Barrett breaking through there, finding some support, and then the final pass to Ardie Sevilla rather, who goes over the try line just to the left of the uprights, and that'll be 7 points to the men in black. It was Rico Ioane there who took the ball from Beauden Barrett, found his captain, who goes flying through the air, triumphantly scoring 7 points for the All Blacks, and they take the lead for the first time in this match, I think.
If you are a rugby fan, you will no doubt be licking your chops at the prospect of this game being as close as it is. They lead by 2 points. as we head up to the half-hour mark, and this should be an easy kick for one of multiple Barretts. He slots it. They lead now by 4 points, and there's 2 minutes left until the half-hour mark. And so South Africa will now have to find a reply for this, because it was fantastic bit of work there from one Barrett to find some support there, and eventually Adi Savia, like you said, like Superman, very much leaping into the air and posing for the camera as he went over the whitewash there. Deep kick now from the Springboks just outside the 22, and immediately well caught there by Scott Barrett. And so South Africa now putting pressure as we see what looks like a forward throw to a forward, rather, not a forward throw, as the Wallabies are not setting up for a box kick here. And South Africa have gone over the top, round the back, and they've been reprimanded by the referee, but it comes to nothing. Barrett kicking high into the air to Willie Leroux. So it looks like the tactic is now to chase after Willie Leroux with those kicks, make sure it follows him all day long. Opportunity now for South Africa to collect. They do, and Eben Etzebeth throws it out to Lut Diache, who tries to get a bit of a pass going as Willie Leroux knocks it on, and the man is having I don't even know if howler is the correct word, and then not releasing was Lut Diache, and so the All Blacks have a penalty. They're clearly remonstrating with the referee, and this one is immediately kicked out by Beauden Barrett. But Otto, what on earth is happening with Willie Leroux? He might have to come off at halftime.
Yeah, the Springboks, the mistakes creeping into the game once again. Some balls lost forward in contact, some harebrained play around the ruck area. Cody Taylor, meanwhile, is ready with the throw-in on the far side of the field, just inside the 22 of the Springboks. And it looks like a 5-man line out there that they've called. Let's see if the Springboks can steal this one once again, because they've already stolen a defensive line out from the All Blacks in this game. Now it goes to the front, easily secured there. Out the back goes, looks like Adi Savia. Yes, Adi Savia, the captain, and the ruck is set up now 10 meters from the Springbok try line, almost in the middle of the park here. The Springboks trying to rush through onto Weber there, but it goes out to Beauden Barrett. He gets a kick through. It's picked up by Andre Pollard, and Pollard has got to the 22 on the far side of the field, 5 meters from the far side touchline. Faf de Klerk now comes in field to one of his forwards. More is set just inside, the ruck is set just inside the 22, about 16 meters in from the far side touchline. Now Faf de Klerk will clear the lines, kicking far downfield into the New Zealand half. Jordy Barrett now with the ball coming over the halfway line, and he's not tackled yet. He makes it almost to the 22 with Bongi and Bonambi flailing after him. Gets a wide ball into the near side for Leonard Brown, who goes over the touchline on the near side, 5 meters from the Springbok line. That is a very close escape there for the Springboks.
Desperate defense there from Kwagga Smith, and he had some support from Sbu Nkosi. But wow, oh wow, Barrett just kind of had acres of room. You know, Jordy Barrett kind of 1-2, nobody wanted to tackle him. Faf de Klerk tried to get around him, as did Oxen Chair, but it was the throw out wide that meant that Sbu Nkosi could get around the hips of the number 13 in Anton Leonard Brown. He's already scored one try in this game, and he was looking for a second, but thankfully South Africa was able to get some cover defense.
No, absolutely. Try saver there from Sbu Nkosi. And the Springboks are missing tackles. I counted 4-5 in the last move that gave New Zealand that previous try. Some missed tackles again, almost costing the Springboks 7 points. So they're back inside the 5-meter line. As
we see Oxen Chair getting a bit of
the Springboks, is Oxen Chair. I don't know where the hell.
It looks like he's a bit of Vaseline on the side of the head. You know, it's like with boxers, he's got the Vaseline for the graft. You know, you gotta make sure. But thankfully, it's a South African throw.
Yeah, no, the ball goes fumbled by Eben Etzebeth into the hands of Weber, and he's up and celebrating a try there along with his All Black teammates on the far side of the field. Fumbled by Eben Etzebeth, squirts out the side there as they try to set them all, and Weber pounces, and they are jogging back to the halfway line are the All Blacks. And yes, they've scored. The try has been awarded. It's 20 points to 11 now for the All Blacks. Now they're starting to really hurt the Springbok errors now. This is dangerous signs for the Springboks. Fumbled by Eben Etzebeth, and Scott Barrett just managed to scoop it back as the ball came down.
Throw looked
and
fine.
Mark Webber was there to pounce and gets it down just inside the touchline there on the near side of the field, with the All Blacks playing right to left on our screens.
Incredible. That was incredible. To be aware of that and to capitalize. He was, for those of you who are fans of animals, if you know what a trapdoor spider looks like, he was just waiting there, he just popped out and got what he wanted. And so the All Blacks are now having to kick for their 2 points here. They'll go into the break. Well, there's still some time ahead of it, but they already lead South Africa by 9 points. That'll take them up to a further 11-point lead. And so this is a difficult kick, Otto. It's on right against the touchline, and with the wind swirling as it has been, will he make it?
He goes just to the left of the left-hand upright.
Shanked it.
Yeah.
Shanked it again.
What's the time there?
34 minutes and 10 seconds. So the last 6 minutes of this first half in the final game of Rugby Championship 2021, we saw the Wallabies were victors over the Argentinians, and so it means that the All Blacks will probably look at a grand slam here, as this one off the kickoff is kicked out.
Leonard Brown gets it inside his 22 and he clears his lines beautifully. The line out will be just inside the Springbok half of the field, on the near side of the field. The kick went deep to the near side, and Leonard Brown with a nice clean catch and a great kick to get the All Blacks back into the Springbok half. Bongia Mbonambi has the ball and is ready to throw. With Siya Kolisi, there's the receiver. It goes to the back and it goes to Loet de Jager, who's immediately sacked there. The maul is sacked immediately, but the referee not happy. Siya Kolisi breaks away and he's behind the halfway line.
Yes, wonderful.
But it was pulling down the jumper at the line out, and it's a penalty to the Springboks just inside the All Black half. Now, it looks like they're going to go for the touchline because they're 9 points behind. But I would have liked to see a penalty attempt from that position. But Pollard gets the line out set up for the Springboks about 6-7 meters inside the New Zealand 22 on the near side of the field. Bongia Mbonambi once again gets the signal from Oxenche. And let's see if the Springboks can get some set-piece moves going here and force the All Blacks to make some more tackles. No kicking, please. Bongia Mbonambi goes now to the back of the line out where nobody collects it. It bounces towards the All Black side. And Ardie Savea has the ball, sets up the ball just to the near side of the middle of the park, goes out to Beauden Barrett, who kicks it to the far side of the field where it will be collected by Handré Pollard, eventually does. And this time he sends it up into the air. It's going to come down just outside the 22. Jordy Barrett waits, catches, and Willie gets his hands on him. Scott Barrett is there in support. They set up the ruck just outside the 22 on the far side of the field. Ball goes from Webber to the near side, to the middle of the park. There's an advantage to New Zealand. Webber now goes to Beauden Barrett, who kicks the ball high up into the air, and it's going to come down about 16, 17 meters from the near side touchline on the All Black 10-meter line. No advantage. Offside by the Springboks, and a relieving penalty for New Zealand. So the Springboks come away from that visit to the 22 with nothing.
Yeah, you've got to ask the question: what is the actual plan for the Springboks? Because they seem like they've been hammered, and this game is not as massive in the gulf between these two teams isn't as massive as I think we would like to believe. But this Springbok team looks a little bit shell shocked, and so they've got to come out in the second half here as we head into the final 2.5 minutes.
Offside line
and drop catches.
Knock-ons and such, costing the Springboks. And the All Blacks now have the line out on the 10-meter line on the far side of the field. The tackle is made by the Springboks just inside the 10-meter line in the middle of the field. Webber goes to the far side. He passes it back inside to Sivu Rees, who's there. And they set up the more. the ruck there rather, and the ball goes to the far side once again. It's now about 50 meters in from the far side touchline, just outside the 22, and it's another penalty to the Springboks.
Lifting the man in the ruck. Oh boy.
And that
it's
great.
Joe Moody. He literally threw Faf de Klerk like a sack of potatoes when he picked him up there. Not the first time that Faf de Klerk's been manhandled, but talk us through that, Otto.
Yeah, so it was an offence there by the All Blacks as Bowden Barrett went down, and immediately the Springboks getting a hold of the ball there and not releasing was the call by the referee. So the penalty is kicked out to the far side of the field. The lineup will be set around the 22 of the All Blacks. We'll see exactly where in a moment, where the assistant referee stopped, and Vincent Koch onto the field, Stephen Kickoff onto the field. So Oxenche and Frans Malherbe will depart. Bongi Mbonambi replaced by Malcolm Marx, and he will have the throw in. It's just inside the 10-meter line of the All Blacks. So it's Trevor and Yakane, in fact, and Oxenche who are off the field. Frans Malherbe not playing today. Apologies for that. Messed up team sheet there. Siyakulisi around the back of the maul. Gets the ball inside there, and it's out again to the near side by the Springboks inside the 10-meter line of the All Blacks. They go now to the middle of the field once again, and the ball comes out to the near side. Dalende gets tackled. He's still on his feet. He's going forward. There's a Springbok advantage
for the Springboks.
Pending. Dalende gets the ball out to Kwagga Smith in the ruck is set just outside the 22 on the far side of the field. The ball goes now to that far side, 50 meters in from touch. Looks like Dwayne Vermeulen there. With the penalty advantage still in effect. No, that was Loot de Jager with a bloodied nose. He's been in the wars today, but it will be a penalty to the Springboks, and it is almost in the middle of the park, just inside 6-7 meters inside the 10-meter line of the All Blacks. Let's see what this penalty was for.
He's just gone into the knees there, has Scott Barrett. He's just he's literally tried to be absolutely.
Yeah, so just
last 90 seconds
going into the knees there of Dwayne Vermeulen with absolutely no arms and getting
surely that's a yellow card.
I've seen yellow cards for that even before. That should have been a yellow card.
Clearly dangerous, and I think Damien Delende is remonstrating with the referee. We see there it's a dangerous tackle. Why is that not a yellow card?
No, that should be Siyakulisi talking to the ref.
It's a career-ending injury, actually.
It could be.
If you tear an ACL or an MCL, you're under pressure as the hooter goes. So South Africa could possibly be within 7 going into the break. No, sorry, within 6 rather going into the break as Pollard steps up.
And Pollard gets it over the crossbar, sneaks it just inside the left-hand upright, and that is halftime. 14 points to 20. New Zealand lead. First half gone. Let's have some comments.
Comments
there if we have some.
Yes, Kyle Ockhuizen is saying go All Blacks. So he's saying that to us from YouTube. If you want to, they are indeed going. Absolutely. So please stick around. We'll be back after the halftime break, and we will be bringing you the second half action as South Africa trail by 6 as we head into the break. So stick around. We'll be back, and we'll bring you every single moment of the action.
Cheers. Thanks for listening.
Hello and welcome back to this One World Sports Radio broadcast of the final game between South Africa and New Zealand in Rugby Championship 2021. My name is Coach Dave. Alongside me, as always, more often than not, is Otto Simon. Otto, welcome back. And what did you think about the South African performance in the first half?
Some glimpses there of the Springbok team that won the World Cup, that went to the top of the World Rugby rankings, but mistakes once again creeping in. Willie Leroux having a shocker of a game, but this time, as opposed to last week, when we do keep the ball in hand, we do get some go-forward ball, and just then those final decisions, not going too well for the Springboks, but good pressure defense that brought us that Damian Delende try. And then I was looking at the replays there, some obstruction that helped Beauden Barrett get through and set up Ardie Savia's try, but it was an awesome try nonetheless. So the Springboks being punished for missed tackles, for defenders being out of position. That's small margins in test match rugby. And especially if you play against New Zealand, when you get an opportunity, you better take it, because when they get half a chance, they score a try. So let's see if the Springboks can correct that. It's only 6 points in it, 20 points to 14. The All Blacks lead, so no chance of a done and dusted result yet.
Yes.
There's still 40 minutes of rugby to go in Australia for the Springboks. Let's see if they can make the most of it and be in front on the scoreboard at the final whistle for a change.
Absolutely. Couple of comments here from our fans on both YouTube and Facebook. So thank you for following us on both of those platforms. Like and subscribe. Let's get ourselves to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We bring you all Springbok and Protea games, and when we can, we bring you Bafana games as well. And so we will be bringing you all of the Protea action at the World T20 2021. And in the meantime, some comments. Lita Justice Yas has said, wow, Percival Marlowe on Facebook saying All Blacks going into the second half with game plan and fire. He's also said with Richie from the bench to replace number 10. Peter Tutu Bala is saying Springboks need the bench on early to bring the X factor, impact and speed. And the game is kicked off once again. South Africa receiving as they find themselves on their 22 now. Faf de Klerk setting up for a box kick. And so there's going to be a chase here, no doubt, from somebody like a Makazolo Mapimpi. He does once again. And we see Barrett catch it inside his own half and throws it to Brother Barrett as he breaks through one tackle. Great offload there, but it looked like it was forward. And the referee saying, not so fast, gentlemen.
Yes, the Springbok defense doing the job there, forcing the mistake. Good tackle there by Siya Kolisi, but the ball going forward to the number 6 there, Akira Ioane. From Geordie,
yes.
From Geordie Barrett. He's shaking his head. So it'll be the first scrum of the second half on the near side of the field.
And a fresh South African pack up front.
Fresh front row. And it's on the near side of the field, about 10 meters in from the near side touchline, inside 4 or 5 meters inside the Springbok half. Faf de Klerk has the ball on the near side. Springboks now playing right to left on our screens. 20 points to 14.
Right. Scrum is set, feed is good, and so South Africa will try and get some forward momentum. Good bit of shoving here from the Springboks. The men in green and gold absolutely hammering the All Blacks, and they get a penalty from it. Faf de Klerk takes it quickly. They're going to get an advantage here as Damian Delena breaks through. He's got Lucanio arm in support. The ball gets thrown, and it looks like Francois Steyn is on the park, and he's just punted it unintentionally forward. I think he's come on for Willie Leroux, as we saw Willie Leroux have a howler of a first half, and so he's been quickly replaced, but they'll bring it back for the penalty from the scrum. Massive scrum there by the Springboks, and the front row are angling in from the All Blacks.
Yes, and some ball in hand play by the Springboks off that advantage ball, and that almost came off there as Frans Steyn got the pass from Damian Delende on the far side, saw that he couldn't catch it, and then just put boot to it to try and maintain forward momentum there. And the line-out is set for the Springboks on the near side of the field, about 10, 12 meters outside of the New Zealand try line.
Absolutely. And so South Africa now with a real change in their lineup setup. And so these guys got to make sure that they get themselves sorted, check themselves before they erect themselves, because it was in the first half that we saw a number of turnovers from the lineout. As Eben Etzebeth says, we're going to go with 6 in the lineout, champs. So or 5 rather. Let's make sure that we're there. Ball goes to Diaga, who had more tape on his body than wrapping Christmas presents, as we saw the team change room at a halftime, and the callers use it once as the maul is held up there. Malcolm Marks goes to the blind side. He throws it to Faf de Klerk. He steps one, gives it back to Marks. Makazula Mapimpi in support. Ari Severe is trying to get the ball away from him there. Faf de Klerk with options to his right and left. He goes now to Eben Etzebeth, South Africa with a penalty advantage. It looks like offside. Faf de Klerk to the blind side. Makazula Mapimpi, he's brought down as they pushed back. A little bit more support there from Malcolm Marks. Going over the top is number 8, Luke Jacobson. But it was the referee who said, let's have a halt in play, fellas, because there was the advantage there. It was the offside from the All Blacks, and Faf de Klerk holds play. My word, that was good stuff from the Springboks.
Yep, looking much better with ball in hand than we've seen on this entire Australia tour. Of course, playing New Zealand in Australia because of some breaking of the travel bubble between Australia and New Zealand just before we were due to go into New Zealand. But the players for the Springboks here definitely taking a step up, and they will go for the 3 points here, which I think is the correct call. There's only 6 points in it. So let's see if Andre Pollard can get the 3 points here for South Africa.
Otto, you wouldn't want to, with our momentum from both the lineout and the scrum recently, you know, just in this first 4 minutes, you wouldn't want to have gone for the 5 points. As that one is slotted through too easy for Andre Pollard, as South Africa in the 45th minute trail just by 3 points now.
No, I think there's enough time left, and I think that the kick receipt should be a little bit better. Let's hope with Willie Leroux off the field. Sorry, Willie, but he's had a horrible game. It happens sometimes. Let's see what
Barrett
they can do.
with the kick high up into there. The South Africans are looking for somebody to catch it. It is the All Blacks who end up with it. Weber, the try scorer from earlier, is the one who comes up with it on the other end. South African frantically working hard there in the ruck to steal the ball. They have, and Kwagga Smith breaks 1, breaks 2. He gives it to his front row substitute. And it is Koch who is the guilty part, who's knocked it forward. South Africa, they seem to have eaten their bananas at the halftime break, because they've come back with full of energy. My word.
Yeah, no, that was excellent counter-rucking, excellent defensive work. They're getting the possession back, and the ball over the top goes right into the face of Vincent Koch. Not a great pass, but he would be disappointed with himself that he couldn't control that, because they were on the front foot. They were behind the advantage line. They'd broken through the defensive line of the All Blacks, and it would have been nice to see a move rounded off for a change by the Springboks.
Absolutely. It's good to see South Africa also using the phases rather than trying to kick the ball away and put pressure on this All Black side. We've seen that the men in black from over the Tasman Sea, yes, it is the Tasman Sea, are clearly not intimidated by high-hanging balls, and it's not a tactic that works too well with them. But they have the ball now, and they are going to have the feed to their scrummers. The South Africans are within 3 points in the 46th minute. There's a conversation there by TJ Perenara to maybe discuss what their plan is to hopefully keep this lead and stretch it further as they head towards a Grand Slam here at Rugby Championship 2021. They're playing at the Seabus Super Stadium in Robina in Queensland, Australia. And so that is an opportunity for them to get some go-ahead. Out of the back of the scrum comes the ball. It's through to number 10, Boden Barrett, who throws it wide to Ricky Ioane. This is a great bit of work there from the All Blacks. They're not allowing the Springboks to settle with their defensive balls, going through the hands wide now to number 4, Brody Retallick, who breaks over the South African 22-meter line. Barrett once again with the ball, but he throws it away to Cody Taylor, who's held up just short of the 22. There's a bit of direction there from Geordie Barrett as he says to them, go the opposite direction. Ball's held up now on just outside the 22-meter line. They seem to be going quite laterally. Fifth phase now for Beauden Barrett as he has some support from his forward pack there. They are being pushed back, and there's a wonderful bit of counter-rucking here by the Springboks. And it's Malcolm Marks who is the wonderful pain in the backside of the All Blacks, but South Africa not able to get to the ball there as Siya Kolisi gets some work done there. The ball comes out and is eventually punted through the gap by Brody Rotella, kicked away by Frans Steyn from his own 22, and that'll go out over the far side as Geordie Barrett does the collection. He throws it in now to Sivu Rees, who absolutely hammers a bomb into the night sky, and then that'll go out, and that means South Africa will have the throw inside their own half. What a passage of play there that could have gone really bad for the Springboks.
Well, I think the Springboks just simply out-muscling the All Blacks there on the at the breakdown. I've never seen an All Black side being pushed off the ball like that twice in a row. And eventually the Springboks getting and maintaining the possession after that great work by the forwards and some of the backs, just simply pushing the All Blacks off the ball before Weber can pick it up at the back of the ruck. So that's very nice to see.
Absolutely.
And Frans Steyn almost with a 15-22 there, or with a 22-22 kick, or with a 50-22, if you kick the ball from your own half, it bounces and it goes out inside the opposition's 22, you get the throw, and that's a new rule that's come in.
Spoon Corsi coming off the park now. Yes, yeah. So we'll see a change at wing, and as we see some quick comments, Adam Shapiro says, thanks guys, listening here from Ireland. Good to see hear the South African accents. Thank you, Adam, for joining us, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Great throw by the Springboks, and they have some good momentum here from the maul as it shifts infield. Now Dwayne Vermeulen is at the center of the attraction as Faf de Klerk gets the call for use it once. He kicks a high bomb right into the night sky, and so that one is going to kept in touch. Well done, Geordie Barrett. Geordie Barrett kept that one in and hammered it straight out, and so good bit of skill there from the mic operator. He tried to, look behind the back and tap it with the heel. And so South Africa will have a throw in a commanding position here, Otto. And with only 3 points difference between the two, you're hoping that they can get the 7 and make sure that they, retain or regain the lead rather from this All Black squad. Anis Mohammed is saying to us, how's it guys? Just watch once the Boks are on attack that the All Blacks are more than willing to give away a penalty. This is due to the perceived potency of the All Blacks on the front foot, and that can make up 3 points. Anis Mohammed again saying, see what I mean with a penalty every 2 minutes. Paul Boer Patter said there are no dead rubbers between South Africa and New Zealand. Absolutely. South Africa now having to defend a penalty advantage as the All Blacks were going through the hands. It was almost intercepted there by Makasolo Mapimpi, but nevertheless it wouldn't have counted as it was knocked down there. And so they're going to go back as the Englishman directs them for the penalty as South Africa now cross towards the 50-minute mark, 5-0, and they trail by 3 points, 20-17. Otto will take us through the next 10 for the scrum now.
Yeah, it was a good throw and secured the ball in the air, but as the jumper came down, I think it was Lotte Jager, he just lost it there and lost it forward. And that would have almost been an interception, but Makazolo Mapimpi just dropped the ball after he caught that intercepted pass there from the New Zealand backline inside their own 22. And the All Blacks will have a scrum on the far side of the field, about 6 meters outside their 22. Let's see if the Springboks can assert that scrum dominance that we saw in the earlier scrum, the first one after halftime. Second scrum, when New Zealand had a put in, was a bit more stable for them, so they'll look to get this ball out as quickly as possible. Weber puts it in on the far side. Faf de Klerk is there, and the scrum is steady from both sides. New Zealand going forward a little bit. Weber with the dive pass out to Beauden Barrett, who sends it high up into the air, into the hands of Frans Steyn, who gets the ball and kicks it.
Is he going to get a 50-22? I think he is going to get a 50-22.
He's getting a 50-22. The ball is out.
Yes, you beauty. He's
inside the New Zealand 22. Frans Steyn with a pinpoint accurate kick, bounces in no man's land. Nobody there for New Zealand to stop that ball from going over the line, and the Springboks will have the put in inside the 22. Very
you and me,
nicely
Otto,
done
it looks
there
like
by
a chip.
Frans Steyn. Yeah, it's
It looks like a chip, and he's absolutely hammered that from inside his own half, and it's just a casual chip. I don't know. Maybe he was raised by donkeys or something like that. That's a proper hoof.
France, the siege cannon Steyn is back for the Springboks, and that
goodness.
ball bounced just 5 centimeters inside the far side touchline. Excellent tactical kick there by Frans Steyn. So Malcolm Marx, as we see, Lloyd de Jager getting replaced by, no doubt, Franco Mostert. The box put it in, and it is Franco Mostert who gets it from the line out. They set them all up. Malcolm Marx has the ball at the back. Franco Mostert willing the Springboks on. They're 6 meters out. They get pushed back a little bit now by New Zealand and going towards the far side touchline now. Faf de Klerk brings it back to Pollard, who passes it short to De Allende, goes down 5 meters short, and this ball goes out to Andre Pollard, I think. Faf de Klerk has the ball at the back of the ruck now. Stephen Kitsoff met by 2 All Blacks, and he gets thumped into the ground 4 meters short and 16 meters from the near side touchline. The ball goes out to Jantjies, to Mapimpi in the corner. He gets the try for the Springboks, and the Springboks take the lead. Elton Jantjies on the field there. Not sure who he replaced, but
Spoon Corsi.
Spoon Corsi was off, and Elton Jantjies on the park, getting the ball from Faf de Klerk on the blind side, on the near side, and all started with that pinpoint kick by Frans Steyn, which we're seeing again now. Elton Jantjies drawing the final defender, and Geordie Barrett diving across, couldn't stop Makazole Mapimpi from getting the ball down inside the All Blacks in goal area. 5 points for the Springboks. Difficult kick to come. Let's see who's going to take this. It'll probably be Pollard, but maybe they'll give Elton Jantjies a try with his left.
Or Frans Steyn. I think they've got sufficient numbers of kickers on the park there that can slot it between the sticks. I think you're right. I think Pollard will continue because it looks like Jantjies is in the team huddle. Everybody deep breath together. Let's get some water and let's make sure that we slot 2-point lead in the 53rd minute. Oof.
Pollard comes forward, strikes this one nicely, but it just curls to the left of the left-hand upright. And the score remains 22 points to 20. The Springboks lead. 54 minutes played. What can the Springboks do here in the final 16? Can they hang on? Can they increase their lead? Can they get those errors out of their game? Let's see as they receive the kickoff now from New Zealand with Beauden Barrett in the middle of the park.
This game is by no means a cut and dry. It's absolutely going to be one of those where you're going to see in the last 10 minutes, it's going to really heat up. Because remember, the Springboks have brought on quite a number of their substitutes. The only ones that are still on the bench are Jasper Wiese, and Herschel Jantjies. And so the All Blacks have nearly all their bench still waiting to come. They still have a fresh front row that's still waiting to come on.
The kickoff is made now, comes down just outside the 22 of the Springboks. It looks like it was knocked on by the Springboks, but it's secured by New Zealand. They go to the far side. And the tackle is made by the Springboks. They're just about on their 10-meter line. Geordie Barrett comes forward. Weber with the pass to the far side. They switch direction now to the All Blacks to the near side. They're just behind the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Good tackles there from the Springboks, and another counter shove there, but Weber gets the ball out this time. Tackle is made on the halfway line. The ball goes now out to Barrett, gets to the 10-meter line, back to the 10-meter line of the Springboks, and it's a penalty to South Africa.
Malcolm Marx once again, not releasing. Malcolm Marx is like a Jack Russell. He's just in there and he's absolutely just hangs on. It's wonderful to see it for your Springbok fans. So we see the tackle there from Kwagga Smith with support from Ebenezer, and immediately Malcolm Marx is on top of it, and it takes 3 All Black players to try and get him off the ball. They don't manage to kick him out of that lounge that they have set up there, and so South Africa will have their own throw as we cross 54.5 minutes. South Africa with the try from Makazole Mapimpi in the previous foray into the All Black half, but Weber is it Weber? I'm sure we'll find out soon.
I think they say Weber.
Yeah. Okay. Single B
Brad
though,
Weber.
so he could be a Bry. He could be a Weber Bry, for all we know. But the mini Bry, since he's a scrummy.
Malcolm Marx with the throw in. Faf de Klerk gets the ball off the top to Andre Pollard, who kicks this ball into the air in the middle of the park. Makazole Mapimpi is there to try and catch it, and it's knocked back by Geordie Barrett. Springboks are there to try and get possession, which they do. And it's Vincent Koch who falls down on the ball. Faf de Klerk is there. He brings the ball now to the near side of the field, where it's Malcolm Marx, it looks like, but they're just inside the touchline now, 6-7 meters out from the All Black try line. Advantage to the Springboks. And it's Siya Kolisi who picks and goes. They're on the 4 meter mark outside the All Black try line, but the ball is stolen by the All Black. Siya Kolisi is down. He's staying down. He's moving his head, so he's sort of okay, but he's getting some attention now. So you've got a little bit mangled in that pick and drive move there. Shame. He's prone on the ground, on his stomach, flat out, stretched on the ground there, with the medical team there in attendance. And the Springboks with the penalty, and it looks like they are calling for the stretcher. He's indicating to his neck. He was able to move his head. But he's got a lot to say there.
It was
to the
just
medical staff. It was
it was an unnecessary interaction there at the ruck area that
it was
got hammered into the ground as well.
Yeah, he got hammered into the ground with the ball under his chin, and I think that just overextended his neck backwards.
So a couple of comments while we have a break in play. Mzansi Comic Club said technically we should be in the lead. 5 missed points from Pollard. Wouter and Sané de Jager said New Zealand also missed 2 kicks. Ria Weideman is saying he's by far over his sell-by date. I'm not quite sure who they're referring to. Maybe she's referring to Francois Steyn. And we're seeing Mzansi Comic Club also saying, love the fact that Steyn is on the field. Wouter and Sanet de Jager saying, well done, now we can win this. Ria saying, wonderful, you can beat those suckers. Springboks. And Peter Livanos is saying, I'm a booker, and good to see Siya Kolisi back on his feet, but I think he'll make his way off the park. I think
he's taking off his headband. He's done for the day.
Yeah,
Captain
I think
Fantastic.
We'll see, absolutely. So remember, South Africa will now bring on Jasper Wiese, which means there's going to be a change in the pack there, because you've got Wiese and Vermeulen on the park. So I wonder where Wiese is going to slot in. Is he going to go to 8 and Vermeulen to 6, or will that change around? We'll see. Maybe Franco Mostert.
Wiese
we'll have to see.
Will go on to flank. Malcolm Marx is ready
minute
with
now.
the throw. And it goes short to Eben Etzebeth. The ball is dropped backwards. Malcolm Marx collects it, passes it short to a backline player cutting in there on the 5 meter line, almost to the middle of the park. They go now, once again crossing the 5 meter line are the Springboks. Ball goes wide out to, it looked like Vermeulen there. Another advantage to the Springboks. Cards need to come out here for the referee. Faf de Klerk trying to snipe around. He's 2 meters short. Pick and go there by the Springboks, and they're over the line, or just short. No, Faf de Klerk has the ball, and he gets it out to Elton Jantjies, but he knocked it on, and there was an offside advantage to the Springboks right in front of the sticks, just to the right of the right-hand upright. And Andre Pollard is the captain now on the field, telling the referee that he wants to see some cards, no doubt.
I'm sure.
Infringements.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. How many times does this need to happen before somebody gets punished for it? Because it's not only is it a safety issue now, as we saw Kwagga Smith there being hammered there by Adi Severe, who was clearly offside, and then it's a follow-up tackle there from a number 20 Ethan Blackadder that means that it presents. Yeah, I mean it's completely unnecessary. And fine, I agree, great advantage, but nevertheless it's unacceptable. Are we just going to allow such things to persist?
So Elton Jantjies with the left foot sends this one through the uprights, and the Springboks extend their lead to 25 points to 20 with 12 and a half minutes to go. Yeah, 12 and a half minutes to go.
So South Africa in the lead, and there's not much time left in this game. But like I said, beware the All Black bench. And so We're going to see how the next couple of minutes pans out. As we see Weber making way for TJ Perenara, as is Joe Moody making his way off the park. And we're going to see how the new substitutes make an impact in this game. Watch and learn.
And the ball is collected by Frans Steyn outside the 22. He hoofs it downfield. There's nobody at the back. Kira Ioane has to go back, and that is almost another 50-22 by Frans Steyn. But I think the line-out will be to the New Zealanders just outside the 22. Excellent kick there, flat and just rolling a grubber kick there, raking kick by Frans Steyn. And New Zealand are back inside their half, well inside their half, with the line-out on the far side of the field, just outside the 22. New Zealand will take the throw in. As it goes to the front, contested by the Springboks, but New Zealand set up the maul. They go forward about 2 meters. And but Etzebeth is there to bother them at the back of the maul, having managed to go through the middle. But the referee calling him off there, saying that's far enough. Perenara with the box kick with the left foot. Ball goes up high into the air, comes down just inside the 10-meter line of the Springboks. And it's Rukanyo Am. Steps 1, steps 2, tackled by the third. The ruck is set just inside the half of New Zealand. Ball in the middle of the field now goes to the near side. And it is tackled there just outside the 10-meter line of New Zealand. Faf de Klerk with the pass infield to Marks. Almost makes it to the 10-meter line of New Zealand. They're trying to get their hands on the ball there, New Zealand. But
blindside throw. Here we go.
A nice
box kick
support there. Faf de Klerk with the box kick. The left foot goes up, and it's going to come down outside the 22. Jordy Barrett collects, but is immediately swamped by Makazolo Mapimpi and looks like Vincent Koch there. Perenaro at the back for New Zealand. Bowden Barrett with the cross kick to the left-hand side, and it's kicked it out on the full.
Surely
Mistakes creeping in here for New Zealand this time. And just the relentless pressure by the excellent defense. It's an attacking defense by the Springboks that we're seeing here. The New Zealanders have got no time on the ball whatsoever. The defensive line is up all the way across the field. There's no chance of outflanking us. New Zealand under the pump, making a mistake. And I would say that's a forced error from Bowden Barrett there, trying to get the cross kick to Rico Ioane on the far side of the field. Malcolm Marks will throw in now just inside the 22 of New Zealand. Goes to the front to Franco Mostert. They set them all. And Malcolm Marks gets the ball at the back. It's a bit static here, going a little bit backwards by the Springboks. And they go forward a little bit now, 1, 2, 3 meters forward. Inside the 22 of New Zealand, Faf de Klerk is there to collect the ball. He goes and passes short to Pollard as he goes on a sniping run. And the ball goes to ground. Faf de Klerk will secure, but it's a pick and go by the Springboks. They go forward now, 6 meters out, and it's a penalty to New Zealand for holding on to the ball on the ground. A little bit isolated there was Franco Mostert, and New Zealand get the relieving penalty. And it's relentless pressure by the Springboks on attack and on defense here. And Bowden Barrett will bring some relief. Final 9 minutes coming up.
Absolutely. And so South Africa with the much better disciplinary record in the second half. They only conceding the 1 penalty so far, as the All Blacks set up now for a throw just inside their 10-meter line. Far side, it goes nicely into Ethan Blackadder, who offloads it now. All Blacks with some front foot momentum, but the Springboks there with some rush defense. It's a bit of relentless pressure, as Otto was talking about. Immediately the Springboks are on top of it, and there's a penalty against the Springboks because somebody wasn't rolling away or coming in from the side.
Rolling away.
Yeah, not rolling away. And so the Englishman is on top of that. He's happy to hand out penalties, but clearly not a fan of cards in this game. Nevertheless, South Africa.
Ball was dropped in contact there by New Zealand, not picked up by the refereeing staff.
And that's why Malcolm Marks is shaking his head here.
That's why they came back to the advantage, the penalty advantage. Okay, so that makes sense. So that was a
63rd minute now. The All Blacks have a throw. Safo or Aumoa is the man who's going to throw. South African half, far side of the park. between 10 and 22. It's lovely throw there from him. It's Akira Ioane is the recipient in that one as they get a maul going. It's right at the back there with George Boa, who's directing traffic. It now gets passed on to Asafo Aumua, and the call for use it once for TJ Perenara is made as Etzebeth tries to go over the top. Throw now to the number 12, David Havili, who's had a wonderful game so far today, but South Africa in the rush defense as they try to go to the blind side to the All Blacks. The ball is immediately offloaded to George Boa, who gets over the South African 22. TJ Perenara throwing it to his center, Anton Leonard-Brown. It's held up again by the Springboks, and everybody's saying, "What the heck is going on here?" Because it's not flowing rugby in any way, shape, or form. Again, Leonard-Brown is the man on the far side, and there's a penalty advantage for the All Blacks as South Africa are guilty of their miscreant behavior, and so they will have to defend inside their own 22. It's a high tackle. Looks like Lukanyo is the man who was the guilty party for the Springboks. 64th minute now. The All Blacks only trailing by 5, and they're going to go for the corner as they look to come back and put real pressure on the Springboks here. I told you, beware of the final 15, 20 minutes, and it's going to come down to that, I definitely think, as we see Aumua setting up with some instruction from George Boa as they look to come back and get within the to hopefully equalize and then go ahead with the conversion. There's men waiting on the try line for the Springboks, Akanyo and Faf de Klerk. There's discussions about where the throw is going to go. The referee saying, everybody hold on for a moment. Let's just make sure that we have everything aligned. It looks like number 4, Brody Retallick, could be an option here for them. It's a short throw, and Stephen Kickoff has stolen it at the front. Wonderful bit of work there from the Roy Kop. South Africa now with an opportunity to clear their lines. Franco Mostert takes the ball into contact and is immediately shoved back by Brody Retallick. So South Africa now will no doubt throw it into their own in-goal area and absolutely smash it out from there. It looks like they're looking to extend the ruck here as the box kick comes now from the back of the ruck, Faf de Klerk, and he immediately kicked that into touch. And so the South Africans will have a throw for their troubles. It was a good bit of work there by the prop with red hair up front. Awareness.
Stephen Kitsoff, take a bow. Awareness and good awareness as well. So
absolutely awareness and awareness.
Awareness. Stephen Kitsoff getting the ball there on the 5-meter line back for South Africa. Great stuff. Great defense there.
As we see a Barrett making way, we see the number 10 Bowden Barrett making way for Richie Moanga. We've also been notified, thank you to our producer, Mpo Mutlane, who's told us that Adam Shapiro subscribed. So thank you, Adam. We look forward to having you on board with us for many more games. We will be bringing you as many games as possible of the autumn series that will take place in the Northern Hemisphere. Throw now, quick one, a short one again to Blackadder, who immediately offloads it, and now the ball goes through the hands as the All Blacks tried to get over that gain line. South Africa absolutely smashing them back now. Held up in midfield, Patrick Tui Pulotu, as the All Blacks trying to look for something. Richie Moanga is brought down again, far side of the park, just outside the South African 10-meter line. Looks like Evan Etzebeth is stealing the ball here, and the referee saying, play on, fella. And South Africa have the ball. Herschel Yankees now to his namesake Elton, who kicks this right into the New Zealand half, and it's going to pop up for Reese in his own half. He throws it to Geordie Barrett, the only Barrett who's not been substituted yet besides Scott, excuse me, who kicks this deep. And Francois Steyn collects it, and he thumps it straight down the middle of the park, and it's going to be in the in-goal area for Geordie Barrett to try and get rid of, and he does so. It's high into the air, and it remains in play. So South Africa now with some front football with Herschel Yankees able to snipe through one. He does. He beats number 17, George Boa, as South Africa have some forward momentum. They will not get a penalty here. They will be penalized instead for holding on. And the ref saying, well, let's have time off there. And he's going to have a look at something. He's really not happy as South Africa are
I think
possibly going to be the recipients of a card.
Late tackle on Geordie Barrett. Who's that coming through? That was Frans Steyn, and then just crashing into Barrett. Very, very.
To be fair, it's not like he it's not like he
tried to pull
intentionally
out of it.
tackled him.
Yeah,
Yeah, he turned
he tried
his shoulders.
He tried to charge the kick down, and then as he saw that he couldn't get the charge down done, he just goes with the momentum, tries to back out.
Also
but,
tucks
the
his
momentum
arms
is
in.
carrying and tucks his arms in, and then momentum carries him into the leg of Jordie Barrett, the right leg going forward. Sure.
Yeah, I don't think there's a malicious thing here. I think there's a penalty at best.
Yeah,
I don't think it's malicious, but this referee, who knows? He's not a fan of handing out cards when he needs to. So I don't know what he's hoping to do here.
So let's see. They're going to give a penalty. His hands aren't going near his pockets yet. 25-20 is the score. There are just about 3 minutes left now in this match. And
I think
the
he's
All
just
Blacks trail
marching
by
off in the
5.
opposite direction. Players over, and I think he's just going to have a word with Andre Pollard here to say we've got to watch out for those kind of things. So we're going to go back. It won't be a penalty where we think it is. It's going to be a penalty for the All Blacks on the South African 10-meter line near side of the park. Francois Steyn
the
kind
ball
of
landed. Yeah.
looks bemused. Looks bemused to say, how does that work?
Well, it was a bit careless. Lomp is the word in Afrikaans. Not very accurate, but Jordie Barrett will set this ball up for the kick at goal. See if he can get New Zealand back to within 2 points.
66.5 minutes gone in this final encounter of Rugby Championship. If you've enjoyed our commentating, please like and subscribe to this YouTube, like the video, subscribe to our channel, because we're going to bring you as much as we can of the autumn series, the New Zealand, South Africa, Australia. They're all going to go to the European nations. We will bring you all of the Springbok stuff as much as we can. And so what is going to take the main priority here on One World Sports Radio will be the World T20 as South Africa make their foray into the subcontinent, as well as Oman. And I think it's Abu Dhabi and Oman, but simple penalty for somewhere for a Barrett makes his impact on the game, and South Africa now only lead by 2 points. 66 minutes 36 seconds have gone as Elton Jantjies kicks off once again. He goes to the far side of the park, quite deep, just inside the 22. Good catch there. Now the New Zealanders have some front football. They're brought down inside their own 22 as TJ Perenara throws it away as Ofo Tuongafasi is the man who's tried to get that ball. Wonderful bit of attempted intercept there from Damian Delende, but he's knocked it on so close. If he'd hung on to that, South Africa surely would have had a try here with 13 minutes left to play.
Yeah, the pass is going out wide. TJ Perenara in two minds there, not sure if he should go himself or if he should pass. Going for the pass, and Damian Delende almost controlling that with an open try line in front of him. But it's a knock-on. I don't think that will be judged to be a deliberate knockdown because there were.
No, he's clearly tried to catch it.
He clearly tried to catch it, knocked the ball up into the air. Let's see. They're having a look at the replays now, and it'll be really unfortunate if they give that as a penalty. But
you clearly see he's trying to get under it.
He only got one hand to it, so that's usually a problem in the referee's eyes. Oh, that was so close. Well, there were some defenders in play for the Springboks as well, so I don't think that was going to stop a try. Let's see what the referee says.
The referee's having quite a stern discussion there with the TMO. So this Englishman has frustrated me to no end today. Otto, he's given the penalty.
Penalty to New Zealand inside their 22 or just outside the 22. That is unfortunate.
Opportunity to clear their lines. Yeah, and I'm sure they'll keep a touch as we see. It's Richie Mo'unga is the man who's got the ball in hands. He kicks that up and out. Not as far as I'm sure he would like, but it's between 50 and 10. And the last 5 penalties are all being conceded by the Springboks. 61, 62, 64, 67, and 69th minute have all been the Springboks. Turnover ball for the Springboks. Wonderful bit of work at the resultant line-out in South Africa with Eben Etzebeth now have the ball. The referee saying that we've knocked it on. Oh, wait, no, my apologies. The New Zealanders have knocked it on, and so South Africa will have a scrum penalty. Wow. I thought he would have given us the advantage there. We were ready to set up for some front football there, but Englishmen
knock on by
not
the
having any of it.
Yeah,
Knock on by the All
Springboks
Blacks.
as well.
But it was them first, thankfully.
Yeah, them first, then us. So he seems. I don't see where the Springboks knocked it on, but I think it was a call from the assistant referee because it went forward off New Zealand in the line-out and then forward off Kickoff, I think. Well, one of them. Official time almost up. Scrum on the just outside the 10-meter line of New Zealand. Herschel Jantjies has the ball.
Yes, 30 seconds in my
in
my commentary stint, and Otto will take us home and make sure we keep that. So the referee blows the whistle as they have to reset here. So Otto, take us home and make sure that we don't concede any more points. Thank you.
Yeah, that's coming up to the 70-minute mark. 10 minutes to go. The scrum is reset. So we see the coaches' boxes, both coaches looking a bit tense. But Jacques Nienaber just
calm,
slightly more relaxed, I would say. Yes, very calm. And final 10 minutes of rugby on tour for the Springboks down under. They set the scrum now. Herschel Jantjies with the put-in is ready with the ball. And steady scrum by both sides. It's collapsed on the far side. Let's see what the referee says about that. And it looks like it was Dwayne Vermeulen who picked that up. It's player's gone to 20 meters in from the near side touchline, just outside the 10-meter line of the All Blacks. Ball goes up into the air by Herschel Jantjies, comes down 10 meters outside the 22, knocked back there by the Springbok players, and the ruck is set up just outside the 22. Ball goes to the middle of the park where the ruck is set up about 6-7 meters outside. Herschel Jantjies comes to the near side. Pollard with the step around the tackle there. Herschel Jantjies now goes to the center of the field once again. Small meters being made here, and the referee might have called a maul there as I think Franco Mostert was held up, and yes, it will be a scrum to New Zealand with the attacking player being held up by Brody Retallick with some help from his teammates there.
Yeah,
Franco
Mostert tried Richie Adi Severe rather. Yeah, Adi Severe was a great bit of support there from the All Black captain.
Yeah, with Ethan Blackadder in there as well, holding up Franco Mostert, and this time New Zealand will have a put into the scrum in the middle of the field, about 7-8 meters outside of their own 22. They're still pinned back there by the Springboks with that excellent defensive work in the last few minutes that saw the Springboks get play back into New Zealand half and now back into their 22. Can the Springboks hang on? 2 points the difference. 8 minutes to play. Just about 72 minutes gone on the clock. We have a slight pause in play now. I'm very interested to see what actually happened in that previous scrum because we couldn't see the far side why it collapsed. It must have been both props going down. But
so if you're wondering where Visa's gone to flank, to open side. And Vermeulen stays at number 8 when Siya massive
nice
scrum
by the box. But the New Zealanders get it out, picked up at the back into the hands of McKenzie on the near side. Sivu Rees rather kicks the ball forward. They're into the 22. The ball is cleaned up there by Damien Dalende. He's got some support there, and 6 meters out from the Springbok touchline. Herschel Jantjies has the ball at the back for the Springbok. Goes to Etzebeth over the 5-meter line. He goes 12 meters or so in from the near side touchline. Once again, a lucky escape. Good scrambling there by the Springboks. Ball goes back to Elton Jantjies on the left foot. Goes high up into the air to the near side. And quick throw in by the All Blacks. They go into the 22, just about for Jordie Barrett there. Perenara has the ball at the back, goes to the far side to Richie Mo'unga, tries to break the line, but he can't get through. He's on the 22. Perenara to the far side. They've got an overlap there, but good tackling there by Jasper Wiese, but he's lying on the wrong side of the ruck. He's not rolling away. Frans Steyn, excuse me. As he tackled there, he fell onto the wrong side of the ruck, and now there's some pushing and shoving by both teams.
Worth an order. This is not going to end well.
It's very unfortunate, but let's see. There were some words exchanged, and then some pushing and shoving. And
Frans Steyn is the one who's remonstrating quite loudly, and so the All Black players are not happy with that and feel like he should be disciplined. And Francois Steyn is saying, not a chance. And this referee, we see Malcolm Marx with a bit of blood on his face, and Eben Etzebeth.
Eben Etzebeth also getting some attention now. So the referee just asking both teams to calm down. But Frans Steyn was clearly on the wrong side. Maybe he was saying that he wasn't able to. They're going to have to get Eben Etzebeth off here.
He's saying when he made the tackle on Damian McKenzie, he was out, and then McKenzie hammered him.
He tried to get his hand on the ball as he tackled.
Boom. Now watch here. McKenzie, as he goes over the top, punches him. Yeah. You see, there's a bit of hands that's going on there, I think, and that's why there's the discussion here.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
And then there's a bit of misbehavior there from McKenzie to Koch. And then once
shoving Vincent Koch as well. And then there's some pushing and shoving back from the All Blacks. So they're having a look at the replays now to see where there was foul play and who were the ones that came in after.
Jasper Wiese looks like a burble. He just appears out of nowhere and he wants to absolutely hammer everybody. And it's like, Jasper, this is not even your fight, mate. Just take a deep breath and walk away.
So there was a clash of heads between Eben Etzebeth and Malcolm Marx. So Eben Etzebeth will have to go off for a blood replacement. And so Ludwig Jager will have to come back. As they were tackling Richie Mo'unga, they both went around Mo'unga and connected each other. That is
it's right above the eyebrow.
Above the eyebrow for both of them.
Classic boxer's injury.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to leave a mark, as they say.
That's why it bleeds quite as profusely as it has. These two look like they've been slashed, but it's just those veins and capillaries that are there above the eyebrow above and below the eyebrow mean that there's quite a lot of blood, and so
at the end of all that
switch.
The Springboks have conceded the penalty. Frans Steyn conceding the penalty for lying on the wrong side. You say you saw a punch there, Coach Dave.
It's not a punch, but a bit of hands. It just looked as they rolled where Etzebeth was on the wrong side. It looked like Damian McKenzie gave him a bit of a shove.
All right. So Jordie Barrett will line up this penalty kick to get New Zealand back into the lead with 5.5 minutes to play. And it's not the most difficult kick he's ever had to send over the uprights. It's halfway between the 22 and the 10-meter line, about 10, 12 meters from the middle of the park on the near side of the field.
Yeah, so we're just going to see Billy slotting this one.
He's,
hopefully for All Black fans, I think this is...
it's not a difficult kick.
75th
comes
minute
forward
over.
Now, strikes it, and it goes
36.
over.
Too easy.
Over the black dot. Easy penalty. New Zealand back into the lead, 26 points to 25. And is just under 5 minutes left to play.
I know this is a home game, but somebody in an All Black shirt has got a cardboard sign that says, "How's it Cape Town?" So, well represented, I guess.
Kickoff by South Africa deep into the 22, collected by Retallick, and the ruck is set up inside the 22. Perenara goes to the middle of the park where another ruck is set up now. He looks like he's going to be passing that back to Mwanga. Gets the ball now, kicks it high up into the air to the far side of the field. The ball is coming down just inside the half of New Zealand, collected by Dwayne Vermeulen, bumps off one tackler, goes through the second one, the third one gets him to ground. Herschel Yankees goes to the near side. The Springboks on the front foot there, thanks to Dwayne Vermeulen with a high tackle advantage. Herschel Yankees back to Pollard with the cross kick.
Drop goal.
Oh no, it's a drop goal. A drop goal. Did he make it? Sorry, Elton Yankees.
Yes, he's got it.
To Elton Yankees. He's got the drop kick with the left foot from inside the middle of the park, just outside the 22. Good call there by Elton Yankees to get the ball into the pocket with the left foot. Goes for the drop kick. Beautiful.
The opposite direction.
And it's 28-26 again. The Springboks lead. New Zealand kick off flat inside the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Tap back to Perenara. Now to Patrick Tuipulotu. He's brought down on the far side of the field. They've got a penalty advantage. It looks like. Do New Zealand? Yes, they do. Not releasing. Tackle player not releasing. Oh, no, man. Just as we take the lead, we concede a penalty. Again. It's happening all over again.
Yeah, Beauden Barrett with a wry smile on his face. Yeah. Oh, boy.
The Springboks doing the best they can to try and keep New Zealand in the match.
I think he's going to go again for the sticks here, as Jordy Barrett. South Africa's got to hope for a strong win here, because this is quite a to the left.
Yeah, it's almost in the same position, just on the far side of the field. So, it's almost in the exact same position as the previous penalty, which was on the far side of the field. So, Jordy Barrett for the All Blacks to get New Zealand back into the lead.
1 point in the lead with 2.5 minutes left.
26, 2.5 minutes left.
This is stressful. Don't leave. Don't leave. If you're listening to us, don't leave. There are comments going mad.
So we'll go through those after the game.
Yeah, Thank you 2 minutes left in the game, if anybody's wondering.
Welcome to all our new followers. Thank you very much. Jordy Barrett comes forward now, strikes the ball, and he's pushed it wide. No.
Has he?
It just snuck in.
No, he got it.
Left of the right hand upright. It looked like he pushed the ball wide, but whatever wind there is in the stadium favoring Jordy Barrett, saving him blushes and pushes the ball back into the uprights. As Elton Yankees has the ball now for the Springboks.
He's got a turnover.
And he will kick off
the ball. Yeah.
And it goes flat to the 10-meter line, knocked back by the Springboks.
No, it's not gone 10 meters. Scrum on center.
I
don't think it's gone 10 meters.
Very close.
Oh, now there's a bit of pushing and shoving again.
Oh, yeah.
All right, calm down,
lad. Not as intense as the previous exchanges, but it's quickly broken up by both sides, just walking away, players walking away. And that's good to see Lotte Jager making his voice heard there, laying down the law to his fellow teammates. Don't let them get under your skin.
Time off.
There's a timeout now.
I think there's going to be a TMO decision.
There's a check for foul play. No, it's a held up for some medical attention to the replacement hooker, Asafo Aumua. And he's down on his knees on the 10-meter line for the All Blacks. Time is off. Jacques Nienaber looking very relaxed compared to the previous 4 weeks that we've seen him walking around swearing in the coach's box. So he's sitting down and just leaning back in his chair. Let's see what are they going to do.
Just give France then a penalty. Let him slot it.
Should be a scrum in the middle of the park there for the ball, not going 10 meters to the All Blacks. But I'm not sure I agree with that decision.
Left. Yeah.
I think the contact with the ball was just about on the 10-meter line. Maybe that's what the referee was indicating. Yeah, it's a scrum to the All Blacks.
So if it's on the line, it doesn't count. Yeah.
There's got to be over the 10-meter line. So small mistake there by the Springboks.
Yeah.
Can they get the ball back?
Huge shove.
Can they get this ball back and retake the lead when it matters most before the final whistle blows? TJ Perenara
I think the All Blacks are going to...
on the far side of the field. They're going to run the clock down, no doubt. Well,
I think so.
They're the type of team that'll go for the try and get it, you know. The scrum is set. And
Go,
the
boys.
ball
Push.
goes in. And
Yes,
the Springboks push,
massive
but
scrum.
the ball is picked up at the back, and over the halfway line go the All Blacks, just about on the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Perenara has the ball, and he takes his time. He sets up another ruck here just outside the 10-meter line of the Springboks. Franco Mostert is held in the ruck there, but is under the eyes of the referee there. Another pod set up here by the All Blacks. The Springboks going in desperately to try and get the ball, and they get the penalty. They get the penalty turnover for holding on the ground. Oh, no, that's coming in and sealing off, going off their feet and sealing off the ball there. The All Blacks are penalized, and surely now Frans Steyn has to go for poles. Time is almost up.
He could technically kick for the corner.
They could he kick for the corner,
and then we chuck a line out? Oh, Frans
Steyn.
I knows. My boy knows. He's kicking for the corner.
He's kicking for the corner. The Springboks will have to win this with the line-out play here. And let's see, they set the line-out just inside the 22 of the All Blacks. Exactly a meter or so inside the 22 of the All Blacks. Now the Springboks have the line-out. Time is up on the clock. Now the Springboks need to be accurate. They need to be really clinical here. Any mistake will have the All Blacks win this test match. Can the Springboks claw it back in the final seconds? Malcolm Marx throws it in. Loot de Jager, that's Dwayne Vermeulen. And the ball is with Malcolm Marx at the back. They're trying to maul this over the 22, and they do so now. Very slowly, the Springboks moving forward, gaining momentum. 5-6 meters inside the 22, now 10 meters from the near side touchline. The maul is still going forward. It's still going forward. 10 meters from the try line. Now it gets stuck there. And Jantjies gets it out. And it's almost broken through there by Frans Steyn. It looked like Herschel Jantjies has the ball. And it's out to the middle of the park. And penalty there's a penalty advantage to the Springboks right in front of the sticks. They get the penalty for offside. And they are already celebrating as if they've won the match. Let's just wait for the kick, boys. Don't to put the extra pressure now on Elton, please. Let's just see him slot this over. And the Springboks are yelling and whooping and hollering and high-fiving and hugging each other, lifting each other in the air right in front of the posts. The easiest of penalties for Elton Jantjies. And let's just hope that nothing strange happens. If this were a cricket match, I would say don't get excited yet. Anything can happen. But let's hope that Elton can just nudge this over. He does so. Yes. The flags are up. The Springboks win the second and the last test of the Rugby Championship, and they are elated, as are we. Well done, Springboks. Thanks for listening. Let's get some comments done.
Wow. Okay, so Wouter en Sané de Jager saying hulle moes gegaan vir die strafsmop. And Fabian Lowe saying miracles. He said, told you, miracles, drama, awesome. Yes. Ria is saying, woohoo, come on. So talking about late drama, everybody's just going mad there in the comments. Yes, this is so good. Obviously, as they led up to that penalty and South Africa making the most of it. It was a wonderful bit of work there right at the end by Dwayne Vermeulen. A fantastic 80 minutes from the experienced campaigner. We saw just as they went into, just as they were coming out of the halftime break, that he was clearly directing traffic and making sure that everything was sorted. So as the comments come through, Frank Duplessis saying, Dalfate, Emma Gordon saying, an incredible match. Thank you, guys, and thank you, Box, Peter Tutu, Bala. Emma Gordon said, Boca really got it back. Daniela Olafsson said, yes, Boca. Paul Burpata said, Box make heavy weather of what should have been a very comfortable win, but we'll take it. And Ria said, thanks so much, guys, for the commentary. Appreciate it. Thank you to all of our listeners, all of you who joined in with us. Please stick around with us on 1WSR.com and make sure that you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at OneWorldSR. Make sure we can get to that 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. We really want to bring you all of the wonderful action from World T20 that's happening very soon. And the next thing that will be going on as well is the World T20, and then there's the Autumn Series in which South Africa tour the Northern Hemisphere. And so from myself, Coach Dave, and Otto Simon, thank you for being with us. Thank you for being with us for the, in inverted commas, Southern Hemisphere home series. And we are happy to be with you. Thank you, and we will see you again soon.
Bye-bye. Keep well.